Welcome to the Alan Holman Show. Today we talk to you about psychiatry. No sensible scientist would give expression to such rot as psychiatry. Actually, I don't want to talk about that. It's a very stupid subject. Um, yeah. What I want to talk about is whatever I end up discussing on this episode. Um, Thank you for tuning in this time. I'm sure that whatever segments I end up recording for this one will be um, to your liking, kind viewer. So, without further ado, here's the theme song.
Tuesday night, we're tuned in to the stories he will spin. Weekly words from Holman's pen, let the vlog now begin. Creativity and light shining through the screen so bright. Alan's world comes into sight, Tuesdays never felt so right. Alan Holman Show, you know. Tune in every week, we go. Caught in the web he weaves, it flows. 7 p.m. we see the glow. Author tales and journeys wide, microcosms, worlds inside. Every story with a guide, Alan takes us on this ride. Magic moments, hidden gems, captured by his camera lens. Different stories, different ends, all our screens, they're now our friends. Alan Holman's Show, you know. Tune in every week we go. Alan Workley, weekly spree, the glow. Show, you know. Tune in every week we go. Alan Workley, weekly spree. Alan Holman's Show, you know. Author tales and journeys wide, microcosms, worlds inside. Worlds and tales in worlds inside. Tuesdays never felt so right. Alan Holman's Show, you know. Tune in every week we go. Caught in the web he weaves, it flows. 7 p.m. we see the glow. Author tales and journeys wide, microcosms, worlds inside. Author tales and journeys wide, microcosms, worlds inside. Every story with a guide, Alan takes us on this ride. Magic moments, hidden gems, captured by his camera lens. Different stories, different ends, all our screens, they're now our friends. It's a story with a guide, all our screens, they're now our friends. Alan's World, our weekly spree. World, our weekly spree.
Well, you know what? Even though I opened this episode by saying that no sensible scientist would give expression to such rot as psychiatry, that does not mean that mental health institutions and psychiatric establishments should be underfunded until alternatives. Well, you know what? I actually think that if you fund them enough and give them enough incentives, maybe they will get some sense and make such institutions places where the patients can live comfortably while they're there. It is possible to make that experience a comfortable experience for the patient, and it begins with people donating to charities that fund psychiatric hospitals. Even though I don't think psychiatry can evolve to something better unless they get more funding and more resources. I think that enough people that work in that field hopefully have hearts and good sense and common decency and want to see that practice evolve to something that provides comfort for their patients. So evolution of that practice can be enabled by people donating to charities that fund psychiatric hospitals. So that's my rant on that subject.
You're watching the Alan Holman Show.
I want to make another rant regarding the psychiatric industry. I want to point out, to some this will be news, but others know this as a cold hard fact. A lot of psychiatric patients feel that they have been at least a little bit mistreated by the guards in the hospitals. And in a lot of cases, I think that their complaints are valid. So, I'm not going to cite any source for this information, but I believe that it is an epidemic that in psychiatric hospitals, guards, at least a bit, mistreat patients. And I think that there should be greater training for the guards in ways of compassionately dealing with the patients. Yeah. I could say more on this subject. I will admit, I have in the past been a patient at a psychiatric hospital, and on my initial admittance to the hospital, on my first time I had been there, the guard attacked me when all I was doing was waiting in a room for when they would get me a bed in the psychiatric wing of the hospital. A guard attacked me. Multiple guards were in the room while they chanted the phrase, "In the ass, in the ass, in the ass." And then they injected me with a drug right in my butt after pulling my pants down. And I did not provoke this attack in any way. It just happened. I was sitting in that room under the impression that what I was waiting for was to get a bed in the psychiatric wing of the hospital, and the guards hammerlocked me to the ground. Well, first tackled, then hammerlocked me to the ground and chanted in the ass before pulling my pants down and injecting me with a drug. They were happily chanting the phrase in the ass. Now, can you imagine if this was done to a woman who was there for her first time? Would they laughingly chant in the ass and pull her pants down? And I'm talking about male guards. And if they have ever done that in their entire career, but even to a male patient, to any patient, happily chanting in the ass while hammerlocking a person to the ground, pulling their pants down and injecting them with a drug that they did not ask for or consent to or get any prior information about. But yeah, they did that the first time I was admitted there in July of 2011. And if that is a common practice, then that has to be stopped. It's just pure bullying. That's all it is pure bullying. And they're paid to do that. It's part of their job, which means that their job description has got to change to something more compassionate and caring, more sensitive. Anyway, that was another rant, and I hope you found it informative and disturbing.
You are watching The Alan Holman Show.
If you are viewing this episode, you are required to love me. I am Alan of the future. Yeah. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now. Well, I was just confronted by an angry viewer of this show who wanted to know the joke that I tell myself when I record this show. I had previously said that I'm not going to disclose that joke, but I'm going to disclose it right now. It's not a joke with words. All it is the cosmic joke about how I can record a show how I want to record it and be myself and not even specifically be telling anyone to watch the show yet I will get complaints about it. There will be people angry about how I'm doing the show, and they will make complaints. It's just that. That's it. That's the joke I have in my mind. It's not a joke with words. It's just the universe. It brings me these angry people when I'm just being myself. I'm recording a show how I want to record it, and now I'm repeating myself. And despite the fact that this particular show, I'm not really ever specifically telling anyone to watch it or not to watch it, I still get confronted by individuals who are angrily telling me that I'm doing this wrong and that I should do it some other way. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's what I have in my mind when I make this show. I thank you if you understood what I just said. I appreciate you for listening. And I'm going to keep making this show in this way by being myself, making it how I want to make it. And the cosmic fact of the matter is that there will be people who come to me angrily telling me that I should be doing it some other way, even though I'm not telling anyone specifically to watch this or not to watch this. Now you know the secret joke behind it. It's just a cosmic thing. You know, the secret joke behind every episode of this show. I just revealed it. So let's see what happens on the next segment as I continue being myself, making the show how I want to make it. I've been doing this show for a while now, and I said on an early episode that I want to work towards self-improvement goals, and most of what I have done towards those ends have been off camera, so I don't really have documentation of most of what I've done towards the ends of self-improvement. But yeah, we've got more than 20 episodes so far, and it's all based on the idea of... Oh, I've got a message, I've got to go. So yeah, the point of this show is what I said earlier. It's like, it's just this idea that I can make a show how I want to make it, yet I will still get complaints from people who aren't even being told to watch it. I'm not really advertising the show to anyone, but yet certain individuals have been complaining about various things regarding the show, and I'm talking more than a couple individuals have been complaining about various things, and the point is that you know, it's just a vlog. No one's being told to watch it. And, you know, I kind of find that funny that no one's being... It is a kind of joke, you know, that no one's being told to watch it, yet complaints roll in sometimes about I should be doing it another way or stuff like that. So, with that said, and I think I've said that enough for this episode, we should move on to something else for the remainder of this episode. So let's see where it goes from here. Well, there are some shows I finished watching recently. I finished watching the franchise from the 1990s called All-Purpose Cultural Catgirl Nuku Nuku. It's an anime franchise, and It's quirky. It every episode has a battle between this android girl and some big heavy weapon. So it was quite interesting. I kind of liked it. I also finished watching the first season of Cobra Kai, and right at the end of the first season, yeah, a really cool story has just begun. So it'll be interesting to, in the near future, watch the rest of Cobra Kai. And I recently finished watching the TV series Community. Community, you know, the show that has the very cool character Abed Nadir. Um, so, yeah, I watched that. And I also recently finished watching the series Space Force, uh, which ended in 2022. Um, I know these are old shows I'm mentioning, kind of. Well, some of them are newer, but yeah, all the shows I just mentioned, they were good. I liked them. So, yeah, that's a briefish review of some television programs. Let's see what the next segment has to offer. Well, it's almost been a full year at this apartment. I moved here on December 1st of last year, and it's almost December this year. December is rolling up quickly. This episode will get posted in November, and I'm recording this segment in late October. But yeah, December is rolling up quickly. It's almost my 1 year anniversary of having my own apartment. I love it. I've got a living room to myself. I've got a bedroom to myself. I've got a kitchen to myself. And I've got a bathroom to myself. Before I moved here, a lady told me that as soon as I get my own bathroom, I will do a Snoopy dance. A dance like that dog Snoopy from the Charlie Brown cartoons. You know what? I so far have not yet done that dance. So, on this segment, I will go into the bathroom and I will do the Snoopy dance. I will put the camera right here, and let's see, will it stay? No, this isn't a good spot to put the camera unless I go like that. Yeah, it should stay now. Okay, with the camera over there, I am now in the bathroom, and it's time to do that dance. Okay, I think that was a close enough approximation of the Snoopy dance. I can now say that I have officially fulfilled the prophecy by that lady who told me that I would do the Snoopy dance when I have my own bathroom. It only took me nearly a year of living here to get around to it. So, if you've been enjoying this vlog-like series, and if you want to see me continue doing this vlog-like series, then leave a comment, like this video. If you think there's even if you think that there's a good chance that someone you know might like these videos, then share them with them. But if you think that there's only a remote chance that someone might like these videos, then don't bother sharing them. Yeah, like I said earlier in this episode, I'm really not telling people to watch this show. People could watch it or not, it's up to them. So I don't really expect any of you to tell anyone to watch this show. So I hope you liked this episode. We'll see what happens next week. So remember to tune in every Tuesday night at 7. And or don't. It's entirely up to you. I'm not telling you to watch it. It's up to you. Alright, see you later.
Tuesday night we're tuned in to the stories he will spin. Weekly words from Holman's pen. Let the vlog now begin. Creativity and light shining through the screen so bright. Alan's world comes into sight. Tuesdays never felt so right. Alan Holman Show, you know. Tune in every week. We go, caught in the web he weaves. It flows. 7 p.m. we see the glow. Author tales and journeys wide. Microcosms, worlds inside. Every story with a guide. Alan takes us on this ride. Creativity and light shining through the screen so bright. Alan's world comes into sight. Tuesdays never felt so right. Creativity and light shining through the screen so bright. Alan's world comes into sight. Tuesdays never felt so right. Alan Holman's hidden gems captured by his camera lens. Different stories, different ends. All our screens and now our friends. Alan Holman Show, you know. Tune in every week. We go, caught in the web he weaves. It flows. 7 p.m. we see the glow. Author tales and journeys wide. Microcosms, worlds inside. Every story with a guide. Alan takes us on this ride. Alan Holman Show, you know. Tune in every week. We go, caught in the web he weaves. It flows. 7 p.m. we see the glow. Tune in every week. We go, caught in the web he weaves. It flows. 7 p.m. we see the glow. Author tales and journeys wide. Microcosms, worlds inside. Every story with a guide. Alan takes us on this ride. Magic moments, hidden gems captured by his camera lens. Different stories, different ends. All our screens, they're now our friends. Inspired minds we watch and see. All the wonder, all the glee. Every vlog a small marquee. Alan's World, our weekly spree. Tune in every week. We go, caught in the web he weaves. Alan takes us on this ride. Magic moments, hidden gems captured by his camera lens. Different stories, different ends. All our screens, they're now our friends. Inspired minds we watch and see, all the wonder, all the glee. Every vlog a small marquee, Alan's World, our weekly spree.